This is truly one of the weirdest quarterback classes I have ever seen in my life. Going into the season, guys like Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Arch Manning, Sam Levitt, and Carson Beck were supposed to be the top names on everybody's draft boards. Instead, I don't think any of these 7 quarterbacks will be drafted in the first round, and some of them will return back to school in 2026. Because of that though, there still has to be quarterbacks, and in today's video, I want to talk about 7 examples of players who are starting to blow up and get attention from NFL scouts. Some of them are currently projected to go in the first round, while others are just now getting noticed. But before we get started, if you're a big fan of college football, be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you support today's video, and let me know what player, team, topic, or situation I can cover next. Now let's go ahead and get started and talk about the new quarterback prospects for the 26th draft. Okay, so the first guy I want to talk about is Trinidad Chamblas. Right now, I'm starting to see him get projected in the back end of the 26th draft, and not only does Chamblas have a chance of playing on Sundays, but he has one of the most ridiculous stories. After coming into the state of Michigan, Chamblas was under-recruited coming out of high school and would end up having to go the D2 level. While he was at Ferris State, he was extremely successful, throwing for nearly 3,000 yards and 26 touchdowns. After the season was over, Trinidad was looking for a new challenge and would decide to transfer over to Ole Miss after Temple threw the kitchen sink at him. In 2025, he was supposed to be the backup, but after Austin Simmons got hurt, Chamblas has since had to take over. He has started the last 8 games for the Rebels and has thrown for 2,400 yards and 13 touchdowns with only 2 picks. He's also rushed for over 400 yards and 6 touchdowns while leading Ole Miss to an undefeated record. At 6'1", he is a bit undersized and definitely needs more development and could look a lot more polished, but Trinidad Chamblas is one of those guys that seems to have that it factor and the intangibles that you want in a late round NFL quarterback. Honestly, I would take him over Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, or Drew Aller, and if Chamblas continues to lead his team and gets them far in the college football playoff, there's no reason why he could not see a stock increase. The second guy I want to talk about is someone who's blowing up in the last few weeks, and that is Brendan Sorsby from Cincinnati. I've been following Sorsby for quite some time, as I'm an Indiana football fan, and I remember when he was committed to the Hoosiers. Sorsby was a 3-star recruit and a late riser, and after some early struggles with Taven Jackson at IU, Sorsby would take over the back half of the 2023 season, throwing for 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns, with 4 more scores on the ground. He got a nice NIL paycheck to go to Cincinnati in 2024, where he threw for 2,800 yards and 18 touchdowns, while also having nearly 500 yards and 9 scores on the ground. 2025 has been his breakout season though, as so far, he already has 2,100 yards with 21 touchdowns and only has 2 interceptions. He's also ran for 450 yards and 8 scores, and Sorsby was also leading Cincinnati football to a ton of success. He's gained recognition for his arm strength, accuracy, and ability to read defenses, and combining that with his low turnovers and dual threat ability, it seems that Sorsby is a name to watch. I doubt he'll be a first round pick, but honestly, he could see himself go in day 2 or maybe early day 3. And nobody was talking about him at the beginning of the season, and now he's a name that scouts are starting to talk about, and he is gaining a ton of buzz. For the third guy on the list, we need to talk about the most ridiculous player on the list, and that is Joe Fasano. He is currently the starting quarterback for UConn, and he is having a near-perfect season with the Huskies. Despite having 2 brothers who played big-time college football, Fasano's best offer coming out of high school was Maine. He ended up having about 5,000 yards and close to 50 touchdowns while he was at the Black Bears, and would decide to follow his head coach over to UConn, who had taken the OC job. After getting injured in 2023, Fasano would take over the back half of 2024, throwing for 1,700 yards with 20 touchdowns and 4 picks. In 2025, he got an extra year of eligibility, and him and Skylar Bell, another big-time draft prospect who's a receiver, have gone crazy this year. Fasano has completed 69% of his passes, has thrown for 2,900 yards, and has 25 touchdowns. The best part of his game, he has yet to throw an interception. This is the first time this has happened in quite some time, and with him being 6'4" and playing for former NFL coach Jim Mora, it seems that Fasano is destined for a rise in this year's NFL draft. I'm not entirely sure what his ceiling is, but right now, compared to some of these other guys, I see no reason why Fasano won't continue to climb draft boards, and if I'm a GM, I'm taking him over those guys. Our fourth player on the list is going to be Baylor quarterback Sawyer Robertson. I did a feature on him a couple of days ago, and after putting up ridiculous numbers at Coronado High School in Texas, he would decide to commit to Mike Leach and Mississippi State. After spending a couple of years there, he would decide to transfer to Baylor, where he battled it out with a couple of transfers before taking over the back half of 2024. He threw for 3,000 yards and 28 touchdowns and elected to come back for his final season. One scout said that Sawyer Robertson was everything that scouts wanted Drew Aller to be, and so far this year, he's had an incredible season. While he's had a couple of head-scratching games, Sawyer Robertson has 2,800 yards and 26 touchdowns, has completed 63% of his passes, and has proven he's a high-level player. He's top 3 in pretty much every category for a passer, and at one point, he was number 1. Many analysts believe he's a sleeper or a rising star in this year's draft, as he has the arm strength, mobility, leadership, and production. He definitely needs to refine his mechanics and decision making, but right now I think it's a good bet for him to go in the 3rd or 4th round, and I could see him blowing up this spring after good combine performances, or maybe some dud combine performances from other players. For our third to last guy, we need to talk about Dante Moore from Oregon. After being a 5-star recruit coming out of MLK High School in the state of Michigan, Dante Moore would elect to commit to Oregon before flipping to UCLA. Moore would struggle his first year in Brentwood as he threw for 1,600 yards with 11 touchdowns and 9 picks. He decided to transfer and would sit behind Dylan Gabriel for the 2024 season at Oregon. So far this year, Moore has thrown for 1,900 yards with 19 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and while those numbers don't pop off the page, he's currently projected to be a top 10 pick on most big boards. He has the NFL size, a strong arm, has good mobility, and is currently running a pro style of offense. The biggest knock on his game is that he sometimes doesn't have the crazy explosive plays, and his experience is limited, as he only really have a year and a half as a starter. Many scouts believe he needs more time to develop, but with how weak this quarterback class looks right now, I think a franchise will want to take a flyer on Dante Moore. He'll probably be taken in the 1st round, even though he may not be ready. Our second to last guy is going to be Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. The son of a coach at UT Martin, Ty Simpson would blow up into the top quarterback in the class of 2022 for a while, and would choose Bama over Clemson. Ultimately, that would be the right decision for Ty, as after waiting on the bench for 3 years, he would finally get his opportunity in 2025, and so far, he's been pretty incredible. He's thrown for 2,500 yards with 21 touchdowns and 1 interception. He's been excellent since that Florida State game, and has made a couple of impossible throws, especially against Mizzou. Simpson's been calm, cool, and collective, and because of his success this year and the system he runs with Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer, scouts are super high on him. He has the intellect, the poise, and the accuracy, plays for a big-time program, is not turning the ball over, and could be exactly what an NFL franchise is looking for. Some think he needs another year, but I'm not even sure if he has another year of eligibility. I think Ty Simpson will be a top 10 pick, and he should go off to the NFL already. And last but not least, we need to talk about Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, who NFL scouts believe is the best quarterback in this year's draft class. Many think this quarterback class is very weak, but right now he's supposed to go number 1 overall. We all know Fernando Mendoza's story by now, as he came out of high school as a 2-star recruit and was originally committed to Yale before flipping over to Cal. Mendoza started a bit in 2023, but after 3,000 yards and 16 touchdowns in 2024, he would reunite with his little brother Alberto in Bloomington, Indiana, and would become the next quarterback for Coach Sig after Curtis Rourke was drafted. So far this year, Mendoza has passed for 2,300 yards with 26 touchdowns and 5 picks. He's completed 71% of his passes and also is a decent runner, as he also has 5 touchdowns there. There are 3 things that scouts love about him. As one, he's got the size and the arm, as he is 6'5". He seems to have the intelligence and decision-making aspect down. And then finally, he's made big plays. He led them on a game-winning drive against Iowa, had 2 huge drives against Oregon, and then after his back was against the wall against Penn State, he led his team down the field and helped them beat the Nittany Lions. Scouts really love that kind of stuff from players, and I bet Fernando Mendoza will be the first overall pick when it's all said and done, but overall, I still think this quarterback class is pretty weak. Most of the big preseason names have flamed out, and maybe one of them will resurge by the end of the year, but I don't know. What do you guys think though? What do you think of these 7 quarterback prospects? Who's another guy who should be on the list, and what other topics should I cover next? Be sure to let me know down below, leave a like if you support today's video, subscribe if you're new, and check out one of the videos on the end screen. Hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.